IJS Radio. Yeah. That's right. It's your boy Jay Montana. That's right. It's your boy.
And Scott the Condor Sycamore.
That's right. And we are.
It's the Croc.
And we are Team IJS.
We are Team Montana Moore Jr.
That's
and
right.
our knees aren't touching this time.
Yeah, no, we're not.
Although almost. I thought it was going to come to that.
Yes.
No homo.
We're sharing a mic again, Aerosmith style. Yeah.
Who did invent hip hop, sort of.
Not really.
No.
Not really. They invented the hip hop rock genre, I would say.
They were instrumental, to be punny, in the rap blowing up, yo. So,
So anyway,
what
what's in the news today? Let's see.
Lots of NK.
I didn't mention this earlier, but Rand Paul gave a speech at like this black college today.
Ooh.
I think today or yesterday.
To the Black Caucus. The Black Caucus.
Black college.
Oh, that too. Yeah,
like
no,
an
college.
all-black college.
No,
right?
I know. Yeah, like Morehouse or something.
Yeah, and basically he gave a speech about how Obama doesn't care about black people, and Obama is hasn't done anything for the black community, which probably he has not. You're right. And also I think somebody asked him about. He said, I've always supported the Civil Rights Act and all that. And then, so I was watching Al Sharpton show, and he was like, no, wait a minute. The Rachel Maddow interview.
Let's go back now.
But yeah, I have to defend him on that because he still said he would support the Civil Rights Act, but that he would have tried to work on a better version that didn't have this law that doesn't let people put racist signs outside of the restaurants.
I thought George W. Bush didn't care about black people. Who is it? Which one really doesn't care about blacks?
Well, I don't think any of these politicians care, but they tried. They tried their best, and I think that was Rand's. He knows that if he's gonna, that part of the population is gonna be a big challenge to him because of that Rachel Maddow interview. Like that's gonna haunt his whole career. Well, that's why people who think that Rand is gonna be the next president, I'm like, not so fast. He has to get past that interview.
Well, Mitt Romney speaking to the NAACP during his campaign was like pretty much the most awkward part of the whole affair, the whole tawdry affair. And he's like, "I'm your man." He got
booed and everything. It was horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they, he tried.
Rand, I don't think Rand didn't get booed, but he did.
No, probably not.
But he did get some criticism afterwards for basically saying that he's always supported the Civil Rights Act when he spent half an hour finally saying that on the Rachel Maddow show. Like it took him half an hour to say that he would have supported it because he kept saying, well, there's parts of it that I would have changed, blah, blah, blah. But at the end, finally, he said, yes, I would have supported it.
Oh, my God. I just realized Rachel Maddow and Mancow are the same person. I mean, think about it. It's right there in the name. Rachel Mancow. Man. She's a man. Okay, back on to politics.
All right.
For real.
Well, actually, I don't think... Look, she's not a cow. I'd fuck her.
Yeah, she's not a heifer.
Yeah, I'd fuck Rachel. I think Rachel Maddow's actually kind of sexy.
She's meant to push those buttons, so to speak.
Yeah.
Androgynous people push the buttons in both
I have a
sexes.
thing for lesbians. I think cute lesbians are like are a big turn on. They're
she doesn't look hot when she's wearing like a hoodie in those MSNBC promos where she's like outside her apartment building or something out on the street in NYC. I mean, she's
she still looks like a hot lesbian. Like she still looks like a cute lesbian. Like
wow, boyish, very boyish.
But like Ellen DeGeneres is like I'd fuck Ellen DeGeneres, but I think Rachel Maddow is cuter than she's younger, whatever. But I'm into lesbians. I'm a lesbian myself. I'm a carpet muncher.
Lesbians.
I'm a carpet muncher.
Yeah.
Call me the rug doctor.
Obama has never commented on who the best looking lesbian is, but he did say about the new attorney general segue that she was hot.
I almost feel like that's not even a topic
it's such a
of
dead
conversation.
Story.
Yeah, because it's like whatever, man. He just said what every man was thinking, and whatever. If anything, he made himself look more human by saying that.
He is more humanist. Yeah. Romney wouldn't get down like that, or even Johnny Mac.
Yeah, but Romney had that comment about the binder full of women and shit like that. And Romney did also call Sarah Palin. He said she's the most attractive person in politics. She's the
No way.
Yeah.
Lots of serious conservative writers and stuff said that.
So Romney did get away with saying shit like that. But I think the Republicans are like, so what? I said it. Whatever. A lot of Republicans they're not. they're sexist, a lot of them, and they're not afraid of admitting it. But the Democrats are pussies, like, you know what I mean? They're not allowed to be sexist. They're not allowed to be, macho or chauvinistic or anything like that. But they are, just like everybody else.
Well, yeah, there's many things going on. There's gays. And let's talk about the impending cyber war.
Cyber war. Well, okay, there's been a few hackings,
I more meant the robot DARPA drone stuff.
Oh, yeah, there's drones everywhere. This is the new war now. It's no longer about who has the most nukes, because everybody has nukes now. It's about who's going to have, the future is going to be who's going to have all the drones to fucking blow up your nukes. You know what I mean? Before they even get here.
Supposedly, we're already shooting stuff down with lasers. I've heard talk of, laser rifles that are carried by soldiers, regular human soldiers, which will, of course, soon be robotic soldiers with fucking laser cannons in their hands. So it's going to be fun. It'll at least be the prettiest, most colorful war destruction yet.
And I also wanted to talk about I guess, the gun thing is not going away, obviously. And
not in your mind or anyone's.
No, it's not. It's really not. I mean, they're going to keep pushing until they get what they want. I saw Dianne Feinstein last night on The Last Call with Lawrence O'Donnell.
Last Word. Although it should be
the last word.
Should be last call at the bar.
For these Irish they're continuing to push this shit, and it's getting scary. It's getting to the point. I mean, like, first, Dianne Feinstein is saying anything with a pistol grip, which is every gun. You know what I mean? And so that's not going to, of course, they always do this. They offer something that they know the Republicans are not going to agree with. And then eventually they end up caving in to something that the Republicans could agree with, which is right now the background search.
Well, it's funny because they actually always do
background checks.
They actually always do reach a compromise if you think about it.
But it's kind of a non-compromise because everybody's already doing background checks. You just have to enforce them. You know what I mean? The only reason that there's a gun show loophole is because the background checks are not being enforced. So now they just have to find ways to enforce it, and that means getting federal police involved, getting Gestapos involved to enforce these laws. So they're creating the pretext for the people who are going to take your guns. Maybe robots. We'll never know. You know what I mean?
That might be what they resort to if they can't get all guns out of all hands.
And so right now, they want to basically create a new registry to put it so that the background check will really be a way to find out everything about everybody who owns any gun. You know what I mean? Find out what their political beliefs are and all this stuff.
I wonder what that'll be. Yeah, well,
there's all kinds of people with different beliefs.
They could probably own
guns. I mean, there's feminists that have guns. There's gays that have guns. There's libertarians, conservatives, Republicans, of course. Yeah. But there's also liberals that have guns too.
Just by trolling Facebook, the government and the NSA can find out everything. They could see who's in groups. They could see who makes comments with certain keywords and everything, and that's it.
If you're just a fucking Facebook blogger, you're not a threat to them until you decide to get a gun. And when you decide to get a gun, then they know, okay, this is not just another Facebook kid that we could just kidnap and no one will know what happened to him.
But they can figure out who
this
has
is somebody who's going to put up a fight.
They can figure out who has the guns just by what they're posting, saying, I got my gun, blah, blah. And then, of course, they know their name, address from there. Obviously.
I post pro-gun shit all over my Facebook page, but I don't have any guns. I'll say it right on the air. I don't have any guns. You know what I mean? Come and get me.
No guns allowed.
Yeah.
I haven't heard the song, but
I heard the song. It's so sad to hear Snoop Dogg, like a guy who's been convicted of having illegal weapons before.
Would you rather Snoop raps about guns and killing instead? Like, is that better?
No, but don't be a hypocrite. You know what I mean? Talk about the seriousness of guns and why society has them, why people choose to have them, and why we should have them, not why we shouldn't have them. Don't talk about
why we should.
Yeah, don't talk about why they're bad. Talk about why they can do good things. You know.
So he does talk about them being bad, and Drake is on the jam too.
Yeah.
So what's the gist of the song? Like, in his party, there ain't no guns allowed. That's it. Yeah. He doesn't want no shootings up in there.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess it's a. He totally exploits the Sandy Hook thing in there and Trayvon Martin and all these things that happened in the last 2 years.
It's like, Snoop, you weren't paying attention in the ghetto you were raised in, like 20
obviously
years ago.
Something is going on. Like, all these shootings happening so close to each other, and then they already have like thousands of pages already written, ready to pass through It's like they've been waiting for this moment, almost like with 9/11. That's why so many people think 9/11 was an inside job. Well, you're gonna see a lot more people who are gonna think that all these things like Sandy Hook is an inside job, or like Trayvon Martin, whose father was a Mason and all that.
Gay marriage is an inside job. Haha. Or I mean, the Patriot Act Part 4. It's coming along. It'll be. That's what they do anyway. They'll probably put.
I think the gay thing is a distraction. I really don't give a shit.
Honestly, they'll probably put gun control in like the gay marriage bill. You know how they do it, just totally buried. In page 9,000, bury it deep in there, and it'll be
they always
gay
do
marriage.
like that. Yeah,
and by the way, you have no freedom. You can get married, but that's. Yeah, I mean, you never know, especially, I mean, in any 3,000-page bill, what's in that shit? I mean, that's a great novel times 7. That's a lot of words in there to spell out a lot of different shit that only a computer probably can process anyways.
Well, these are people who profit off of the decline of our economy and our moral standards and all this stuff. And so they, if the gay marriage thing, what it does is it's going to force the federal government to issue all these new marriage licenses, and they're gonna continue to go broke faster.
Well, it's more
and then eventually there's gonna be austerity, and they're gonna have to be like, look, we're gonna have to just end all marriage licenses because we can't afford to fucking support, give welfare to every married couple in America.
Oh, so they are trying to actually destroy marriage through all this stuff.
Well, I mean, they're not even hiding it. They're saying marriage equality equals economic equality. They're really doing it for money. They're turning marriage into an economic issue as opposed to a, thing for family and love and all these things. Now it's about, well, we want to get the same benefits as all the straight couple do, And well, that's what it is.
Nice
like
voice.
It's the welfare. The welfare is what perpetuates this, like laziness of like not wanting to like actually, make your own money and just depend on the government. You know what I mean? Like, welfare has totally destroyed like the black community. It has totally destroyed America in a lot of ways. I mean,
thug welfare.
The dependence on it.
You uppity gay. No, I mean that's what's going on. There's people shouting around, and there's a lot. There's just a lot going on. Oh, I noticed. Oh, haha! I got a real funny, and by that I mean not funny. Because I know Newtown isn't funny to you for some reason, Mr. Montana. But I know they said this on 60 Minutes before they interviewed the Newtown parents.
You mean the lobbyists?
Yeah, the lobbyists. But
call
check it out.
themselves Newtown parents?
Dude,
I'm sorry, that's consensus.
Yeah, that's it. But, okay, Newtown happened on 12/14, December 14th. 12 plus 14 is 26. Guess how many people died at Sandy Hook? Bump, bump, bump. And on 60 Minutes, they said that.
And now these Sandy Hook parents are really whoring themselves out into the media, into the public national view.
Oh, that is controversial,
They're hanging out with
John.
Obama. They're on Air Force One, hanging out with Obama.
AF1.
And
they're on that joint.
And they're literally official lobbyists now. All the Sandy Hook parents are official lobbyists.
Minus the gun.
And I even heard one of the parents say, "Oh, I'm glad that my daughter died for this cause."
Come
you know
on.
what I mean? Like to really like lobby for this cause. And I'm like, wow. And this girl was smiling while she was saying that. I'm like, your daughter just fucking died, and you're smiling about how this gave you an opportunity to lobby, to become a lobbyist for disarming people and telling them that they don't have the right to defend themselves.
Well, people go through emotions, and they can think all kinds of different things. And it's just trying to see the positive side from what they're looking at, from their end, assuming it did really happen.
I understand this whole thing. Like, they feel this void now, but it's like, come on. And I saw the same thing. I said the same thing about Trayvon Martin's mother.
Right, she copyrighted.
Who copyrighted the phrase "Justice for Trayvon" so that she doesn't have to work another day in her life because of how many times MSNBC has used that phrase.
Yep.
You see
By the
what I
way,
mean?
inside joke, Matt Britt, we're out for your copyrights. Anyways, brain fart. But yeah, because the whole point is, if you can make money or you can get money allocated to places that you are interested in, you're going to do what that takes to get that flow happening of the currency. But yeah, it further reinforces people believing in this political system. Which
that's
is,
the difference between capitalism and socialism. Capitalism, you have to work for your money. Socialism is when you can find any way to get the money without working.
But isn't that working unto itself? If you're always trying to hustle not to work, isn't that a form of work? Right? sort of. I mean, it takes a lot to do nothing sometimes,
and
right?
it's not something that just government does. Like, you know, corporations do this all the time. Like, they find the easiest way to make money while doing nothing.
Well, I've
you
heard
know?
it said,
and that's actually it does involve the government, because corporate welfare is the reason that all the money in this economy is going to the fucking corporations. I mean, come on, like,
wealth.
If there's any there's any reason to understand how welfare doesn't work, just look at corporate welfare. All right, that tells you everything. Like, the country is broke just on that alone. Well, like, welfare would actually be a system that could actually work if most of it didn't go to corporations.
Oh, well, I mean, that is the treasury. Literally, the people from the treasury are taking the money from there, putting it into the corporate coffers, as they call them, and it's all their shit anyways. They're all investors and on the same boards and the same circles.
They just throw the money around. They don't even know if they're giving it to somebody who needs it or not.
They just know they're getting. They just know they're getting fucking paid.
Exactly. And, the corporations that run the government are the ones getting all the fucking corporate welfare. You know what I mean? They're the ones who help the politicians get into office, and once those politicians get into office, everything they do in office benefits the corporations that help them get in.
That's not for working. That's for fucking up. That's for hurting working
No,
people.
Of course, it's a conspiracy to destroy America, and they're all getting bonuses, and they're all getting their bailouts for destroying the economy. I mean, AIG got bailed out for destroying the economy, and all this thing is happening. It's like they're rewarding the bad guys. Like, that's what government does best.
They've done their
reward the bad guys.
That is the government's greed. Your mustache is strong, Mr. Stossel.
There's no conspiracy that you can possibly believe in. If there's one conspiracy that everybody, I think, can agree with, is that government doesn't work for the people, and that it's always worked for the corporation and still does to this day.
Oh, that's for sure. But that's not even...
It's not even an argument. We all know, even people who like Obama understand that the people who control him, you know, are like, a lot of people, they say they feel bad for Obama because he's being controlled by these corporations. They're like, do you think he feels bad? Nah, he's enjoying all this fucking wealth and fucking all this shit that he's gonna get when he's not president. He's gonna have his own island and shit.
Well, it's like I was telling my friend, if Goldman Sachs or AIG, they might crash the economy as a whole, but if you work for them and they're paying you $1 million a year and you're kicking ass and feeding your family, to you, they're great. They're the greatest thing ever. I mean,
do you think George W. Bush gives a shit about how he fucked up the economy while he's like chilling in his fucking palace in Paraguay? Do you think he gives a shit? Nah.
He's got a Paraguay palace?
They bought property. The Bushes and the Bush family and the Cheney family bought property in Paraguay because
they got it everywhere.
Because Paraguay has immunity. It has they can't it doesn't have extradition laws.
Yep. Right.
So they can go hide over there.
Venezuela.
And not get
Venezuela too, with Hugo Chavez. Now maybe when the new Chavez when the new Chavez replacement comes in, maybe they can change that. No, but
they're not going to hide in Venezuela.
It wasn't just Hugo Chavez, by the way. Like Venezuela has been known to not have extradition.
Bush and Cheney are not going to hide in Venezuela.
No, not there. But
that would be like, they get recognized, they'll get beat to death.
They're living right next to Puffy.
But Paraguay, you know, like that Paraguay is a CIA dictatorship, so they can go over there. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, back to one point we were saying earlier. I've heard it said that a crackhead is the hardest working person because they don't work. They have to figure out how they're going to get money for crack every day
and they're
like
willing
survive
to suck dick
and
for
do
that
whatever.
Shit. They're willing to do anything.
Yeah, that's hard work. Let's see these bank executives do that for fucking to get.
Well, yeah, I wish Americans had the same passion for money and getting power than they did for crack. You know what I'm saying? If Americans had the same like motivation as crackheads to fucking become successful, then we would be like, there would be no homelessness in this country. Everybody would have a job. There would be so much productivity would be through the roof.
You wouldn't consider yourself like a money addict, right? You wouldn't do anything to make $1, right? I'm not. Hustle.
I wish I was. I wish I was addicted to money. I wish
I would. You could suck dick for
not
a $5 bill.
Not that. Not addicted in a sense where I would do anything for it, but I mean in a sense where I would work my ass off for it, not for little amounts of it, but you know, to actually get big, successful.
Like a guarantee or whatever.
When I say addicted to money, I mean more addicted to success. I mean more like, we need, as Americans and as people in general around the world, we need to be more motivated towards success. And then instead, we have all these things that kind of don't motivate us. Like we have all this technology that makes everything so we just stay at home all day and just, be on the internet all day and feel like we just live the whole day.
I mean, something like, I don't know what percentage it is, but something like, half the people who use eBay or something, it's their main income or one of their main streams of income. It's not just like that is their sitting at home on the computer and selling.
Yeah.
Not that they don't make money
People
or
don't
they
go
can't
shopping
be
now
successful.
anymore. They just order shit on the internet. People.
I mean,
why go out to eat when somebody can deliver it? You know what I mean? It's
and they're making money, something, little tips and
shit.
shit.
Yeah, and it's the free market. It's all good. The free market is there to make us comfortable and all this stuff. But it's when we get too comfortable. When, like, for example, like the government is giving you just enough money to pay your rent and buy a little bit of food, then you're just gonna live by those means, and you're not going to try to make more money, because if you make more money, the government's going to take away your check.
Well, a lot of it, so much of this boils down to attention span too, which of course we have none of. I was thinking to myself, I mean, I used to wait for the bus for an hour with no iPhone, no Walkman even, no Discman, no fucking smartphone, not even a book or anything. You just wait there and sit and, think about nothing. Whereas now it's everything. You can't freaking get through taking a dump without looking at your texts and your apps and shit. And it's just like we can't. Yeah. It's completely fragmented.
And then you wonder why the ghetto is so like filthy and dirty and nobody wants to fix it or anything like that. It's because they don't have the motivation to do so. Like if the government's giving them all paychecks to just not work and not do anything, then what's the point? You know what I'm saying? But if you actually told them, nah, go ahead, like if you actually gave them money, how about reparations? That's an idea that I actually support.
But isn't that the same
I do
as
believe
welfare?
that, it's not really, because reparations would just be rebuilding their infrastructure.
But don't the conservatives say that welfare is reparations in disguise, and that's what Obama's
that reparations
giving to them?
is welfare in disguise.
No, welfare is reparations dished out slowly to all the black people.
Slowly in a way that it can't really be even effective.
That's what I mean.
You know what I'm saying? Like instead of giving black people little by little of the money that we owe them for slavery and Jim Crow and all these injustices done by our federal government, then why not the federal government just completely repair all their fucking communities that they've destroyed, and that the government destroyed during Jim Crow and during slavery and all that, and that's real reparation.
Dude, I just got a story on finally a real-time IJS thing.
If you think about it, reparation, most of it would go to the southern states, because that's the states that we destroyed during the Civil War.
But I'm sure they've dished out more in welfare and whatnot than they ever even would have agreed to in reparations. Let's say they agreed to give black people $10 million or something back in the day.
Yeah, and it didn't fix
way
shit.
more than that.
It didn't fix shit, because it's just like giving somebody a penny a day and thinking that eventually they'll be a millionaire.
Dude, so
no, give them something else. Fix their fucking situation. Give them jobs. Give them money to repair their communities. Pay them to repair their communities so that they don't have that problem anymore, and they don't have to be. Their communities don't have to be dependent on welfare for generations to come.
Yeah, they were more interested in stringing people along and keeping the status quo.
They're more interested in the drug than the actual cure. You know what I'm saying?
The medication, not
complete reparation of the black community would be the cure. It would be like, we're gonna rebuild your community and we're gonna pay you to rebuild it yourself. You see what I'm saying? We're gonna give you money and you guys are gonna do all the work and rebuild your own community. You know what I'm saying? That would be fair. But instead, what they're doing is just the medicine, the slow drug,
medicine,
which is just keeping you addicted to welfare and keeping you dependent, so that you don't rebuild your community, because you'll never have enough money to do so, because there are no jobs in your community. There's nothing.
It's the economic morphine drip. Yeah. Check this out. I just got this on my phone. This breaking news: gunman holding 4 firefighters hostage has been killed in shootout with police in Atlanta. ATL.
Oh yeah, I mean ATL, they pack guns over there, so there's no way that's a situation like that could have turned into an Adam Lanza situation, because shit like that doesn't happen in ATL or Texas or anything. But he was full. Now there was a kid who was who went on a stabbing spree in Texas.
I heard about this. Yeah, school stabbing.
And this kid was really weird. He had a little a puppet monkey that he would carry around, and he would talk to the monkey, and he would make the monkey talk back to him.
He would spank it
on some fucking Jeff Dunham shit.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Ventriloquisty kid.
Yeah, and this kid was crazy, and everybody thought he was getting bullied because everybody thought he was a weirdo, and then he snapped and I guess stabbed a bunch of people at his school. And nobody died. It's a stabbing.
But at the same time, you have to place the bully blame too, because if you keep bullying, you pick on that one kid who's really weird. If you're that person who does it, they might retaliate in a weird ass crazy way.
The thing that's shocking to a lot of people in the media who don't understand physics is that this kid was able to stab 14 people, and no one was able to stop him from stabbing 14 people. There's always this argument of, well, if the gunman doesn't have enough bullets, then you can have this opportunity to stop him before he reloads. Just like that. Well, this kid didn't have to reload. He has a fucking knife. He's going around. Anybody could have. You think that a knife is less dangerous, so he can be stopped easier. But no, because guess what? A knife is more quiet. All right. A gun will alert everybody. All right, and people will be running and scattering, and nobody will know what's going. Everybody will know what's going on. That a gun just went off. But a knife, nobody knows what's going on. It's quiet. You don't barely hear what's going on. You maybe see like all of a sudden you hear a scream or something like that. You don't understand what's going on or who's got the knife or whatever because it's so quiet. You know, a gun, it's like everybody scatters or ducks, and the only person standing is the one who has the gun. A knife, it's like you're in a crowded place and you have no idea where the fucking stabbing is coming from.
I don't even know the situation, but yeah, it's just another thing. Who knows? It could have been two people. People always say,
knives are less dangerous than guns. But guess what? With a knife, you're more likely to get away clean without anybody calling the cops on you if you have a knife because it's silent. Well, it doesn't make a noise.
Yeah, you can drag people into a closet and slit their throats one by one over the course of a day, and it might take fools
with the gun. It's going to alert everybody, and you know, you're more likely to get caught with a gun because then you got to run, you got to throw the gun away, you got to do all this thing.
Ready, gun.
You know, with a knife, you have you know, it's quiet death. You can slit somebody's throat, nobody will hear them scream. And I'm not trying to give anybody ideas, but this is. The reality is that you have more time to clean up and you know, wash your hands, wash off the blood off of you and stuff like that.
In this case, in the story I just said from Atlanta, I don't know this. I just read the headline, but it's not that they're packing. It's that some dude is holding firefighters hostage. That I've never heard before. When has there ever been a firefighter?
There was a story last year of a guy who shot some firefighters.
No, you're right. In upstate New York, right? Yeah, and he had the same weapon as James Holmes or something that he was using.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's almost. I don't know if this is, you know, who knows? Maybe this is some kind of attempt to get the firefighters on the gun control wagon. You know what I mean? Because this is the second time they attacked them.
Hose control.
And you know, the firefighters have become like this big, like kind of like public figurehead since 9/11, you know, they're kind of like this heroic like group of elite people that you know you can never say anything disrespectful about firefighters because of 9/11.
Something like that.
You know what I mean? So if they can get firefighters on the gun control wagon, like they have like more authority.
But firefighters, they're that kind of job that everyone likes. They just put out fires. They don't arrest you. They put out fires and hear
nothing
people.
to do with guns, and that's the crazy part. Yeah, it's like why would anybody? You're right. Why would anybody? What's the point
of holding hostage firefighters? Yeah, exactly. And I just thought of another thing.
What is there to gain? This is what whenever I see something that doesn't seem to have a clear motive, you know, or doesn't seem to have a motive at all. You gotta think like, wait a minute, this is bizarre. Shit like that doesn't normally happen. Every crime normally has a motive.
You know what I just thought of too? Firefighters were used to push the gay marriage agenda in the Adam Sandler movie, Chuck and Larry. That was some post 9/11 fireman shit.
You almost have to keep bringing the gay thing back. Huh? It's like, what's your obsession with this?
That is so obsessed. No, but crime has to have a motive, or else they can't determine. Premeditation, right?
Yeah.
Or there's theoretically supposed to be a reason.
But that's the thing. Now we have a generation of these neo murderers who don't seem to have any motives for what they do and just like complete psychopaths. And what do you do with these people? Do they plead insanity and go to a fucking nut house and then, you know, eventually rehabilitate and come back into the world? What do you do with these people? You know what I mean? Are these people, you know, really that bad? Like, I don't know. Or are these people being drugged or you know, what is this? Like this whole, like, for example, bath salts. I followed when that whole phenomenon was going on. I followed a lot of these stories, and there was this woman who smoked bath salts or smoked something, maybe meth or something like that. I forget what it was, but I think it was bath salts.
Probably bath salts.
And then she ended up, like, basically when she came out of her bath salt high, she had eaten her baby, her newborn.
Right. Eat her young.
She had eaten her baby's toes
Black Widow.
And she had cooked her baby.
So she just.
And then when she came out of the house, she was like, "Oh my God, what's going on? I feel like I was just possessed by the devil. I had no control. I don't even remember it. They never remember it either. You know what I'm saying? And it's these are people who are good people normally, who are responsible people and all that, who just you know, or have their weaknesses. They like doing drugs.
Don't do bath salts. Yeah, I mean, now she's a cannibalism control advocate, maybe.
Yeah. Now well, who knows? But that's what I'm saying.
Well, no one, Jimmy Holmes or whoever, they don't.
When we have these zombie outbreaks, we're gonna have, of course, all the gun nuts are gonna be like, let's go shoot us some zombies.
Yeah, even
you know. But then you're gonna have all the humanistic leftist, you know, gun control advocates who are going to be like, no, they're people. They're just under a substance that they can't really control. You know what I mean?
It's like True Blood or something. Like, no, the vampires are chill. And we got to accept them and shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, like,
they're
don't
people.
go kill them. They're
going to be fighting for zombie civil rights. I mean, that's going to be the new thing because, these are people who do not have control over what they do.
Well, even cats, even
just like the military guys who I think are zombies also.
Well, even Sirhan and all people like that, they're always like, oh, I don't know, they came
they
to in a daze.
They don't. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like their memory gets erased about it, and so there's no proof that they even did it. You know what I mean? A lot of times,
the reason
they're perfect. You know,
The reason I brought up the gay firefighter thing, not being obsessed with the gays specifically, but the fact that it's an example of the fire agenda being used to promote all these things that are coming
fire
around now.
Fire as in flames?
Flamer agenda. No, it's just that it seems like the firemen are being used to promote the big social issues like gay marriage, gun control, wars even.
Any fucking costume that resembles a member of the village people is going to be pretty gay, associated with gayness.
Wait, did they have a firefighter? I thought it was an Indian.
They had an Indian. They had a cop.
A construction worker.
They had a motorcycle guy.
They did have a cop, yeah.
They had a cop, motorcycle guy, construction worker, an Indian, and I think they had a firefighter.
But they have a lot of like fireman calendars and shit, right? Like,
all these fucking gay strip clubs always have these guys dressed up in fireman outfits. Yeah, it symbolizes like I'm about to fucking spray my huge water hose all over your fire.
And also, I mean, firemen were used during the MLK civil rights shit, right? They'd spray all the black people with hoses. With the high-powered hoses.
Oh, yeah, and also, have you ever seen the movie Fahrenheit 451?
I read the book. I haven't seen the movie.
And it's about basically the fire department is basically the police. It's in the dystopian future where the police is the fire department. And instead of putting out fire, they burn the books.
Yeah, they have fire
start
guns.
The fires. Yeah,
that's why it's
they
so
start
ironic.
The fires and then put them out, of course. But that's just like what our government does.
Yeah.
They create the threat and then put it out.
By the way, Ray Bradbury, who wrote the book, very conservative. He was like a super Bush guy, I think, or at least he was like a neocon, basically. A lot of these science fiction.
I have to look into that.
Oh yeah, you should look. He's dead
because
now.
It seems like it would be his dystopian future. It would not be pro-war. I mean, it would be pro-war, but you would think that he's warning us against these people, the neocons, not that he would be for.
Yeah, but you know how it is. A lot of people, especially older, they can turn into these neoconish types, you know, whether it's because of a 9/11 or they just have a change in thought or whatever the case may be. They might start as more liberal. I mean, you know this anyways, that neocons are all Marxists to begin with and shit. So, you know, people can change. I don't know. Did Chuck Norris used to be fucking
but it seems like writers like Ray Bradbury or like Orwell.
Orwell was not.
They're more like libertarian. They seem like they really like civil rights, and that's why they write about these dystopian future where civil rights are gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Robert Heinlein, who wrote Starship Troopers. He was a super right-wing, pro-military neocon. He was like this big sci-fi, you know, epic war adventure dude. But you can see when you look at their stories, you could see the kind of pro-fascist because not every artist or writer is like this liberal hippy dippy fucking, you know, they just have a talent and that's it.
Oh, I mean, and by the way, so Ron Paul started his own school?
Yes, I showed you curriculum, ronpaulcurriculum.com.
I saw that coming. Because I remember I was a LaRouche. LaRouche kind of has his own like youth movement, educational youth movement, and it reminded me of the LaRouche youth. And they remind, of course, every great big, you know, aspiring dictator has had those, of course.
Yep, exactly. Ron Paul, he has a curriculum.
Obama has his own youth movement also.
And he has a podcast coming out too, right? So he's getting a radio show and his own school program in like the same month or whatever. 2013, man.
I mean, the saga continues.
Oh, and you know what I thought?
His son is going to be the front runner, obviously.
I thought of something very interesting and some might say offensive. When I was watching the Sandy Hook parents on 60 Minutes, what I thought was, if any of those kids had been homeschooled, they wouldn't have been there, right? Yeah. It was because they were at school. I mean, not because, but you get what I'm saying. Homeschooling would have prevented that shit.
School is dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, like any place that's fucking attracts pedophiles and psychopaths and people who have hatred towards children is going to be a dangerous place to put your children in.
When have people not realized that school is dangerous? I mean, even in the 80s and shit, there was people, it's like, it was known people get in fights, there's bullies, there's fucking knives and shit, there's switchblades, I don't know, even back in the day, the 50s, whatever, like there's gangs, there's always been those around schools, wild youth doing crazy shit. It's not like kids have been getting gunned down repeatedly, even though I
love this ridiculous Dianne Feinstein argument of like, well, if the gunman has less bullets, then it gives an opportunity for somebody to take him down. Are you kidding? No one has time to do that. Most of them do the California reload where they already have another loaded gun. They don't need to fucking reload.
Well, they have these guns. It takes 2 seconds to reload a clip.
Even if they do reload, it takes 2 seconds. Nobody's gonna have time to fucking courageously save the day.
Dude,
and tackle them down. You know what I mean?
We've all seen it in movies and shit where someone's spraying, they drop the clip out, and then just have one pop it right in.
And I
it
get
takes less than 5 seconds.
Oh, well, that's what happened in the Gifford shooting. Yeah, but he was still able to kill a lot of people. All right. So the point is, if somebody wants to kill a lot of people, they're gonna do it. No matter how many times they can fucking reload.
You're going to love this too. Apparently, Gabby Giffords, despite getting shot in the head, still has a gun, like has a Glock or something, and is a fan of guns and promotes the Second Amendment, even though her husband, astronaut Kelly, like buys AR-15s to give them away and shit.
Yeah, but they're still being used for the gun control agenda because of what happened to her.
Because they have to look like still good to conservatives and shit. Like, oh yeah, I still like guns. It don't matter. My wife got shot. All that shit.
But this whole argument that like Dianne Feinstein is saying, well, we'll just tackle them now. Tackling, really? Is that the best defense that we can have against people who want to kill your children? Tackling them down? Like if they had guns at the Gabby Gifford fucking rally, then that would have not even have happened.
But there was police there.
The police were like having lunch like fucking like a few blocks away. But
what about Secret Service and shit?
Yeah, no, there was no like fucking security guards.
There must have been something.
Well, apparently there were no guns there. Apparently it was a gun-free rally. It was a gun-free zone, actually.
Because I remember,
funny how these things always happen in gun-free zones.
Do you remember when that dude tried to shoot up the Holocaust Museum in D.C. and he actually did get blasted by a black security guard?
But at the time, no one knew who Congresswoman Giffords was. Nobody thought this place needs a bunch of security. You know what I mean? Although I think they should have provided security because the judge that was killed that day was he was onto like the big drug cartels and all that. He was going to go against the cartels, and he had struck down the racist Arizona anti-immigrant law and all that. He struck it down, so he was like an anti-New World Order guy. And conveniently, he got killed there, along with a little girl who happened to be born on September 11, 2001, which I think is weird. So there's some weird coincidences to that event also.
Keep the numbers alive, people. Yeah, so we've had a lot of great information. We're wrapping it up here. All right. An incredible stream of data, this show. That's right. Yeah, I don't know. That's I've spoken my piece, I guess. It seems like, once you get on a roll, there's always more stuff. You think there's only a little bit out there. But all these issues can be debated and are debated endlessly, and fucking it just keeps going. Yeah, the human fucking the hive mind and all that is cracking. So yeah.
Anyway, I think we're good here, right?
I think we're good. We didn't crack that many jokes, but that's all right. We're delivering shit to the people.
That's right. IJS Radio, motherfucker. Don't fuck with us. We will tackle you.
Yeah. Best defensive tackling, bitch.
Tackle. That's right.
Bait and tackle.
If you're in danger, just wait until they run out of bullets and tackle them.
Yeah. You like a fish, bitch, with bait and tackle shops.
And if you get shot, don't worry. Government's going to get your back later.
Yeah.
When you're already dead.
Just relieve the pressure. You know how to do it. We don't have to tell you.
And as we always say, we don't have to tell you, masturbate safely. Good night.